sense for them. If they're not going to play him anyway, obviously he's been really, really strong today. We got to get him out of there. Not an 100% win percentage, so obviously we just watched, Azure Fire unfortunately come up a little bit short with him, even though he was the leading credit getter in the game for a very long time.
So Dolphin Chasers taking a really long time on their last ban as well here. So they do take out the Mecha Wonder Woman.
Which means that we have those global champs available. This gives a lot of flexibility to this first pick option here from BrawL. So Arcane Green Lantern again, I think is a very safe pick right now, because if you get the 1-2 combo of the Atomic Wonder Woman and Superman on the other side, you have guaranteed counter initiation, you know?
Yes, exactly. So maybe we'll see Superman picked up here by Dolphin Chasers.
Yeah.
I mean, you also have Atomic Wonder Woman on the board as well.
Yep, and I think either one of those are going to be a fine choice here, because either one of those in a vacuum is great. I don't think, though, that if you already know Arcane Green Lantern's on the other side, I don't think you can give up either Atomic Wonder Woman or Superman to them, though, because, yeah, you kind of need them to counter-initiate, but I guarantee you if any one of those two stays up, you're going to see them grabbed by BrawL right away. Oh, and it's Gaspat.
So it looks like one of them is going to be picked up right away.
Okay, so you take away Gaspat from Genre, who did say before that that was his main when he was in Twitch chat. So this is going to be rough, to be honest. Genre has shown that outside of Gaspat, he does have a lot of course, very strong bids, but didn't have the strongest laning performance as Blue Beetle before. So I'd be curious to see what they're going to throw over to him.
I mean, maybe that was their whole strategy by banning out Mecha Wonder Woman to really just get rid of that top-tiered other marksman.
That's very true. Now, Swagatron, what is this pick going to be here?
Superman, possibly? I mean, so they are valuing Atomic Wonder Woman over the Superman pick.
I might say something a little controversial here. I don't think Swagatron has had the best performances on Superman so far, even though he has favored him in most games that we've seen so far. So I don't think it's a terrible decision to kind of have him play a fill roles, especially because he knows that his Superman was bullied so heavily by Swamp Thing. And I think the debate right there might have been, Swagatron, do you feel confident playing Swamp Thing? Because Telly's going to take it. And
yes.
Basically he probably said, well, maybe not, and I think that's why they're just going to wait and pick just a late game enforcer or something like that, or maybe we even see one of those crazy just marksman tops or something.
I mean, we could see a marksman top, and that would probably be the best way to be able to disengage from that Vine Lash.
Mm-hmm. And there is a second marksman. It's going to be Atomic Joker. Of course, that's going to make for a really nice, strong bot lane. Zatanna was already picked up by BrawL, though, so they're not worried about going after their damage at the moment. Oh, Mecha Soups! I'm up for this. Let's do it.
Mecha Superman, that's an interesting pick.
That's a normal pick.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're going to go with the Atomic Green Lantern, and assuming obviously Big Impact is going to be picking up Cyborg to go along with the Zatanna. And so
okay, so
Blue Beetle.
A very similar composition, actually, to what we saw out of BrawL before. They were actually running double marksman, Blue Beetle, and Cyborg. That did happen. Now, Cyborg's going to go bot usually with Big Impact, and he'll be supported by Zatanna. But Blue Beetle was given over to Genre last time, who didn't have the best performance in the laning phase, but had really great impact in the overall team fight phase. And, oh, wait, hold on. Holding over Mecha Superman again.
This is not happening.
Whoa! It is happening. Okay, so they were teasing it at first. They ended up throwing up the Mecha Superman, switched over to Atomic Green Lantern, which I thought was a great pick, by the way. I really like that in the hands of Swagatron, who shows that he likes to try and trade.
Yeah.
So maybe he can get a bit more damage in there against Telly. But Mecha Superman is going over to Beastin, and I cannot wait to watch this lane of him and Katy Perry.
So we're going to see Mecha Superman and Atomic Joker in the bottom lane.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like Atomic Green Lantern in the jungle, and with Swagatron on the top lane going against Telly as Swamp Thing.
Yeah, so there we have it. It is going to be that assassin top against Telly. Now, Telly was not able to make this work out very well for him. In the first game that BrawL played today, they were forced to play 2 marksmen, 2 assassins, and one of those assassins was Atomic Wonder Woman. That went over to Telly. He didn't have that great of a laning phase against Swagatron, and now it's actually completely reversed, basically. Telly is going to be taking the big old tanky Swamp Thing, and Atomic Wonder Woman going over to Swagatron, so we'll see if Swagatron can do a little bit better with that Assassin top.
Now, I'm really curious to see how this is going to turn out with Mecha Superman in the bottom lane.
We'll definitely be following him. Like, is there a more imposing presence, though, of any champion than Mecha Superman?
I'm not agree more.
It's just you look at it and you're just like, this is like 6 mechs coming at me at the same time. This is not possible even for one superhero to stop.
Not only that, but it's Superman as a mech.
Yeah,
it's not just any mech. It's Superman as a freaking mech.
Too good. Too good. All right, well, we'll see if anyone can come up against the might of Mecha Soups in a bit. BrawL actually stacking pretty hard in the, are they mostly in top lane or mid lane right now? I think they're in mid. Okay.
You got 3-2 in the mid compared to top lane.
Yeah, okay, so...
But they all are going to stay in the top.
Yeah, so they're going for another big 5-man.
Oh, it's 4. It was 4.
Yeah, they were just like really well stacked there for a second. But they're moving back up here and trying to catch the top laner here, Swagatron, just the same way that they've been catching Cow out a couple of times this weekend. We'll see if it works for him.
Online in 30 seconds.
So I think Swagatron is going to play smart, knows a little bit better. I mean, he does have the vision, and if he's smart enough, he will not cross that vision.
And BrawL seems not usually to care about wasting a little bit of time here, so they're going to start dispersing into lanes.
But yeah, they have spotted out Telly here, and they do know that Swamp Thing is in the top lane. But it looks like they're just going to stay in their positions. You get Katy Perry and Beastin in the bottom lane. Going up against Zatanna as GS in Big Impact on Cyborg.
Yeah. And Big Impact, he's played a decent Cyborg before. I like watching him whenever he gets into the late the team fight phase, because he usually does have strong positioning, and you absolutely have to have strong positioning as Cyborg. Now, of course, it is a little bit better because Zatanna is there, and Zatanna will be able to bunny for him on a regular basis, and that is going to give him a little bit of disengage, which is nice. So if anyone dives the back line, he should be a little bit more safe.
So you've seen a couple of these matchups of Swamp Thing, Telly on Swamp Thing, because you were doing the BrawL matches. How do you feel that Swamp Thing does, Atomic Wonder Woman does going up against Swamp Thing?
So like the way that Telly has been playing Swamp Thing so far is basically it doesn't really matter the damage that you're taking. You're more worried about continuing to push and push and push and push and push. And I think that if he's able to sit back and gain a little bit of momentum in this lane, like I think that Atomic Wonder Woman needs to shut him down hard. Early, like hard, like a kill or 2, possibly. And then I think that it's going to be a very equitable place, and then Telly won't be able to execute his strategy. Atomic Wonder Woman right now, though, I don't actually know how well this is going to work. I actually favor Telly right now just because of how well he's been playing Swamp Thing.
Yeah, with Telly playing an excellent Swamp Thing, Swagatron is definitely going to need the help of Almighty Tick.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here as once again, Genre getting a bit bullied around in the laning phase as his Blue Beetle is going up against another Gas Bat here. So he is going to have a little bit of trouble, and Fatal Uno has played a pretty good Gas Bat so far. So I think that's going to be more than a match for Genre. We'll see if he can hold it. Pretty good damage swapped onto Swagatron there, though.
Yeah, Telly has that passive that, regenerates some health, and he's still doing so much damage to Swagatron.
Yeah, he really is. And Swagatron has to fall back to his tower right now. Almighty Tick, just hanging out. Of course, he does have strong early gank potential. He could certainly get in there, land some grabs, things like that. Hasn't really been a presence yet. Looks like he's going to hit level 3, back, buy a little bit, get back out in the lane, and then see if he can do something there.
So look in the bottom lane here, we're still seeing just a pretty passive exchange, trying to focus on these drone waves. Beastin and Katy Perry still going up against Big Impact and GS.
Oh man, just watching Mecha Soups run around. So much fun. All right, so let's see if he can get that giant drill into effect here soon, though, as Big Impact is trying to take out this bottom surveillance tower here. And Beastin knows that this is the case. We'll see if he can try and get a steal on this, and doesn't get it. Really close, though. So switching back to the top lane, Telly and Swagatron still going at it between the two. Yeah, I mean, and Swagatron's done a little bit better job. Looks like he was maybe able to buy a little bit of an item lead there. I don't think that Telly has gone back to purchase anything. Okay, no, never mind. He has had one bicycle, so they're on relatively even items right now. And Telly is in a pretty good spot if he can continue to just land those fists over and over again. And he gets a good one there. See if he can get a double vine as well and potentially get a root. And doesn't look like he'll get it, but Swagatron gets very low in health. Oh, and GS actually grabs Mecha Soups down bot. Sorry we missed that, guys, but Big Impact laying out the damage. Unfortunately, the kill doesn't quite go over to him, but GS going to be able to finish that out. And first blood over to BrawL.
Yeah, that is definitely very big for BrawL right now, being able to shut down Beastin. Telly knocking up Swagatron again, but he's not able to defend the jungle of BrawL.
Yeah, Almighty Tick came up and decided to poke his head in for a little bit. Swamp Thing going to need to really start clearing this out soon. Drops a health deployable. They are going to lose that surveillance camera up top, but all told, this has been pretty good so far for BrawL at this stage.
10 seconds.
Katy Perry, though, and with Beastin just a little behind from GS. I mean, obviously that credit advantage going to GS.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's see here. Dolphin Chaser right now has a decision to make. Like, Almighty Tick has not really done much for ganking. He showed himself top once to go take some enemy camps, but I think he's got to get a bit more involved here because really there's been no pressure applied to any of the lanes so far, and BrawL has been able to just kind of sit back and farm at will.
Yeah, and if BrawL is just left alone to farm, that's not a good thing. Right now they have 600 credit advantage, and that's certainly not just due to First Blood.
No, absolutely not. So, and it's actually growing a little bit as well. All right, so Swamp Thing is going to head back from up top, gain himself back a bit more health, let Atomic Wonder Woman push that lane again, and he's actually going to teleport halfway there. Was a little surprised. Oh, no, he had his husk there. He had a husk. Okay. Yeah. It's the same animation on the minimap, so I'm like, he's teleporting, but he's only teleporting to the first turret? That's silly. Okay, no, that makes more sense. He's got a husk.
Yeah, husk is a beautiful thing for Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Vine kind of goes off into the distance there. Looks like he was anticipating Swagatron moving to the top. That didn't happen, but no big deal. Down in bot, though, I'm curious how that's going because that first kill was landed on Beastin, and it looks like there's pretty good pressure being kept up here by GS and Big Impact, but they haven't necessarily been able to stretch a big advantage so far. Levels are pretty even between the two players, between the two teams.
Swooping back up to the top lane here. Oh, Telly popping the Warrior King.
Yeah, I mean, obviously gives him a lot more power, a lot more health, but he's not really able to get in that many hits against Swagatron. Nice double vine, though, or at least it should be. Very well done with that fist, too, and gets him down to about 10% health, but can't finish him off.
Yeah, Swagatron's going to be going back after that exchange. Telly playing a very strong Swamp Thing again.
And this is what he does. He just bullies you and just constantly does damage over and over and over again until he can wear down your turret and open up the rest of the lanes for him.
All right, we might start seeing Almighty Tick making his presence known in the bottom lane here. They do throw down the camera, GS and Big Impact, but oh, GS is just going to speed up. And a beautiful wall going out by Beastin. So much damage going out in GS. Can GS get taken down? Throwing down the banana peels, the bat scream in there for reassurance. Katy Perry picking up the kill on GS. Big Impact could be the next to fall.
Ooh, and Fatal Uno doesn't quite get down there in time and missed with his bat scream as well. Blue Beetle going to recover just to make sure that no more pushing is going to be done, but that was a really nice move by Dolphin Chasers. Now, of course, what was that all due to? Mecha Superman, top 1 champion, NA.
Top 1 NA.
Top 1 NA champion, right there.
Why not EU? Also.
Yeah, no,
is it top 1 world, Mecha Superman?
I'm sorry, he only believes in the American brand of freedom, okay? So, all right. Beastin, though, he's got, I mean, he set up that kill, though. He did a good job.
That was a freedom kill.
Yes, it was. And he needs to see who else needs freedom here in a second. He'll try and take them down, too. Ease gets in a bit of trouble there, but Genre is going to be able to back him up. Fatal Uno has to watch out. He is a bit squishy at this time. They trade a bit of damage back and forth, and not much is done. And credits are actually entirely even between our two teams right now. It is as close as it gets at the moment.
And to look at the distribution, it seems that the majority of the lead is Oh, Sarah, the majority of the credits is actually on Swamp Thing, Telly in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, he's once again, you know, doing a nice job of executing his strategy. He's continuing to push. Looks like Atomic Wonder Woman was set back at her turret again, and you see the notification, top turret is under attack, which means this wear down strategy is working. And he likes running over, doing kind of the cow thing, and picking up opponents' jungle camps too. And that should give him a nice little credit advantage.
So Fatal Uno and Genre still trying to duke it out in the mid lane here. You got a double marksman matchup. But
yeah,
just focusing on the drone waves right now. I mean, it's still very passive between these two teams. I mean, we're almost at the 10-minute mark. 1 kill each, same amount of turrets.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Genre's done a little bit better job farming his Blue Beetle this game. He initially was getting pushed back by Fatal Uno, but seems like he's come out of it in the mid-game here, so not too bad of a position. And once again, BrawL is just slowly, like, I mean, every time these laning phases have happened, BrawL will maybe lose an objective, maybe lose a kill or something like that, and the credit score will actually end up equaling again, and then slowly but surely they'll just build it back up, build it back up, build it back up with superior mechanics, and then it'll get knocked back down if they lose another objective. This time, though, once again, you know, Telly up top has done an amazing job of pushing in that turret over and over again, and is still in position to be able to react to this fight if necessary. Oh, his teleport is down, so I take that back. He'll actually have to start walking down.
So jumping up to the mid lane, Fatal Uno has Genre pushed under his turret.
Yeah, I mean, he's done this pretty consistently, but Genre's done a nicer job of actually farming from here on out, and he's able to start trading some pretty decent damage. Looks like Almighty Tick is just going to run in and try and get a grab. Misses, unfortunately. Was right at max range, but didn't quite hit. And yeah, so I mean, I again am so surprised at how passive Almighty Tick has been this entire game. Hasn't really been present for ganks, and just has one of the best kits in the game to activate some aggressive ganks.
We do see an interesting Husk pack here, though.
Oh, very interesting. I mean, he could certainly easily dive behind enemy lines with that. Almighty Tick now knows that Ease is in here as well. He's going to watch out for him. And here comes Swagatron. Swagatron and Almighty Tick actually causing quite a bit of damage. Almighty Tick threw off his ult onto Ease. And despite that, Telly was still able to 2v1 for a while and almost kill Atomic Wonder Woman after all of that.
Jumping back to the bottom lane, though, Beast and Katy Perry do end up picking up the surveillance drone, but it's Big Impact that walks away with the actual deployable.
Yes. Yes, he does end up grabbing that, and he actually forces a back out of both Katy Perry and Beastin at the moment, so there is going to be a strong potential for BrawL to push up, do significant damage to the turret, and they are actually pushing in all lanes right now, so things are looking, again, good for them on this front. They execute these mechanics a lot better than every other team has. They're just coordination around objectives and fights has not been as strong as historically it has been.
We do see the turret almost going down the top lane. Telly is securing so much damage here, getting those Vine Lashes down as well.
Yeah, got that turret now. I mean, we're looking at a massive credit advantage here, and Fatal Uno just gets nuked by Almighty Tick with a nice grab into the turret, gets 2 turret shots on Big Impact, but that doesn't really matter at all. And now we do see that BrawL starting to take control of this early game.
So with that kill in the mid lane, they're going to try and spawn Raider in the top lane, secure the kill on the Raider, all while you have Telly trying to keep Swagatron at bay.
Yeah, I mean, and it's working. I mean, Telly has traded really efficiently so far. I think that under different circumstances, Atomic Wonder Woman maybe could have played a bit more aggressive with ganks from Almighty Tick to try and run that lane in their favor, but since Almighty Tick hasn't really been out there and Wonder Woman hasn't been very aggressive, that hasn't happened, and Telly's strategy of just push, push, push has worked out pretty well.
So you got Ease in the bottom lane here trying to secure these drones to just prevent any damage being done on their turret. Continuing pushing out these lanes, you have Telly still in the top lane. Like you said, Swamp Thing just push, push, push all the way through.
I don't know if you noticed, it was just kind of funny. It's a totally minor thing, but down in the bot lane, Ease was trying to go after that one big drone, and like he hit it 6 times so it wouldn't take any turret hits, and literally his first lead drone comes up to it and taps it once, and he loses the last hit on it. It was just kind of amusing to see, honestly. All right, so Ease is just going to continue farming now. GS and Big Impact pushing up here in bot, and they are doing a nice job of continuing to pressure Beaston, despite the fact that Beaston has been able to initiate the one kill that Dolphin Chasers has. Fatal Uno actually getting traded out here in mid very efficiently by Genre. Genre is just playing this game as Blue Beetle a lot more solid overall. He now has a pretty substantial lead, 2 levels as a matter of fact, over Fatal Uno.
Yeah, Genre really has stepped his game up this round with Blue Beetle. Going against Gaslight Batman, as you said, was pretty much the staple for mid-lane marksman.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely has been great, but Fatal Uno just not making things happen. Okay, so Almighty Tick's starting to gravitate down towards bots with Mecha Superman. Looks like they're just going to clean up some jungle camps, get that speed camp out of the way possibly. But man, Telly just pushing again up top, just keeping Wonder Woman back against her turret over and over again, and should be able to secure the turret kill here relatively soon.
Looking at the credit advantage, you're looking at nearly 1,000 credits. That's in favor of Telly on Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I mean, he is just playing very well. They're going to be able to grab the surveillance tower up top too. So now they're going to have vision control. And it's going to be a couple of minutes yet before Leviathan comes up, but they will be able to start making their way down, start putting down some cameras, start to get vision control, maybe open up a big gank bot, and then start to move in on it.
We still really haven't seen much of Almighty Tick in any lane right now. Being level 8, he's 2 levels behind Ease on a top Arcane Green Lantern.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's just not really been an impact. He's been farming a lot, and he started to get out there in team fights a little bit, but he's not really done this all that efficiently, and he gets knocked down right to the side there, and Genre's going to have enough to finish him off. That's a kill in the bag. Fatal Uno actually takes quite a bit of damage. Oh, Bat Scream gets him! Genre goes down. Really nice turnaround there from Fatal Uno.
That's exactly what Dolphin Chasers need. Losing the kill, Almighty Tick falling again, just falling further behind this game. And having Fatal Uno, I was really surprised he didn't bat flight in and just throw down 1 or 2 auto attacks on Genre, and that could have secured the kill. Yeah. Now it's about still a 2,000 to 3,000 credit disadvantage of Dolphin Chasers.
Yeah, I mean that still was a kill for BrawL as well. It was still a 1-for-1. It just feels a lot better when you're playing a little bit behind. It's been a pretty passive game so far, and I'm going to chalk that up to a couple of reasons. One, obviously BrawL saw Dolphin Chaser do a kind of unique strategy, and they're doing another one here with Mecha Superman. And secondly, don't forget, guys, this is the last game of the day. One of these teams is going to Germany. One of these teams is going home.
They're staying in North America.
Yes, that's correct. They will actually continue to remain at home where they're likely at right now. But regardless, they're not going to Germany. So, you got to imagine there's a bit of nerves there. Fatal Uno clears out that mid tower and gives a nice little boost of credits over to the Dolphin Chaser side. And now that lane is open for him, gives him a bit more mobility to be able to get out there and start trading with other lanes.
But we definitely need to start seeing more of Almighty Tick, missing another grab off of Telly.
Yeah, I mean, this has just not been a particularly strong game for him so far. He's kind of looked a little bit lost. He's never really been in the right position, and he's committed to engagements in the wrong situations sometimes. So I certainly think he'll pick it up, and he actually drags Telly directly into Swagatron, and Telly, with the ease, counter-engage is plenty enough to turn this around. I don't think they're going to have enough for a kill here necessarily.
Oh, and they do!
Actually, very well done by Dolphin Chasers.
But Telly popping the Warrior King, he could easily clean up a double kill right now.
Let's see, it looks like Swagatron and Almighty Tick are wondering about this.
No.
And another little misplay from Almighty Tick. He gets in range of the fist, and the fist is enough to finish him off.
Telly securing a kill on Almighty Tick there. He definitely got in way too close. It was not necessary.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of a cool turnaround from Dolphin Chasers, though, because, I think that maybe Telly and Ease just got a little bit too close to that turret there. They felt very confident being up still a little bit and having a decent level advantage. But no, I mean, Ease was turned around on. Swagatron still has a ton of damage regardless.
Just looking in the mid lane here, Fatal Uno did go back after exchanging some damage with Genre, neither of them falling. But Katy Perry and Beaston both needed to going back, so I don't think we're going to see them be able to secure this turret much too longer.
No, I mean, already more damage being applied to it right now. There's the EMP. Beautiful, and they're going to be able to grab that no problem. Looks like Almighty Tick was thinking about coming in on mid a little bit, didn't do that. The turret is going to survive down bot, at least for now, but it's so low that the next wave, or the next attempt to push it down should be successful.
I'm surprised Fatal Uno did not see this husk right there. He walked right by it, if anything, walked straight through it.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy, actually. I mean, it's not like it takes a lot to take it down, so should have just turned around and knocked it out. All right, so Fatal Uno going to grab this drone here. Looks like bottom turret is under attack at the moment. I don't know how close it is actually to die. Not close enough at all, and so that should stay up, no problem.
So going back to these artifacts here, we're seeing Mecha Superman try and get decked out with that Ruby of Life. You know, he's making stacks on stacks at this point.
Yeah, he is, and he is going to be a tanky force to contend with. And here comes John raising his Assassin Form, jumping on top of Beastin. Beastin does have a lot of health, as we mentioned before. Couple of shots should be able to take out the turret, but they can't land the kill, and that is a 4-man commit down bot.
Oh, Beastin throwing down the Freedom Wall, though, stops the rest of the enemy team.
Oh, and the ult does catch up to Telly, who is actually slowed for the moment, but he turns around, has a good knock-up, and it's not going to allow Dolphin Chasers to be able to re-engage on this.
So while you have 3 members of Dolphin Chasers trying to take out Telly, the remaining 4 members of BrawL secure the bottom lane turret, and now are trying to make their move in the mid lane and try and catch up with Fatal Uno, Squagatron, and Almighty Tick.
Yeah, and they're up by 4.2k credits now, so they're in a very nice spot, and they're starting to slowly open up the map. Since they've actually taken out a turret in all lanes at the very least, they're in a pretty good spot to open up Leviathan for them. And it actually looks like, as Raider comes back up too, Leviathan is online, and I think that BrawL's going for it. Indeed they are.
Yeah, we're just going to see a swap tanking between Ease and Telly, jumping in on the Leviathan. There is nothing Dolphin Chasers can do at this point try and scare it. They're just going to make their move on the Raider, but I really do think BrawL's going to be able to get there in time. Oh, throwing down the husk.
Let's see, and there's Telly, so he is already in position to be able to hold back against this, and he just needs to walk.
He gave a fist to 3 members of Dolphin Chasers.
Yes.
Telly single-handedly pushing the entire team of Dolphin Chasers away.
That's right, that's quite a fist, and so there comes the bat scream from around the side, and Fatal Uno not going to be able to get much done with this. Already Beastin has gone down. Fatal Uno does repel away, but he ends up dying. Katy Perry tried to take the long way out. That's not going to work out very well for him, and Almighty Tick is going to go down in a 4-for-0. So a Leviathan plus a turret plus a 4-for-0 kill. That is a great initiative from BrawL. They can turn around, grab the Raider on their way out, and they're going to be in a wonderful spot.
Yeah, with that that disengage by Dolphin Chasers there. I mean, Katy Perry that was Telly single-handedly pushing the entire team of Dolphin Chasers away.
Yeah, and actually, Telly has to watch out because he's up top right now with basically no health, and Atomic Wonder Woman's trying to hunt him down.
Atomic Wonder Woman does have the Reclaimer available. If she spots him, he's dead. Simple as that.
Yeah, and I don't think she's quite going to be able to get it, but Telly was actually really low in health for a while. All right, so he goes back, no problem there. Looks like they didn't end up going for the Raider quite yet. They're just going to make their way over now. They should be able to get that no problem at all, fall back, buy, and things are going to look great for them. So really at this stage, with every map objective down, multiple deployables in hand, I believe still for BrawL, they end up using all of them. Okay.
Yeah, they threw down the shield. They also threw down the Leviathan core. We saw that when they initially engaged, when Telly had all 5 members of Dolphin Chasers just running away in fear of Swamp Thing.
Yeah. But, I mean, GS still does have the EMP, which is, one of the key ones that I was looking at, which means they should be able to make a very strong push down bot here, grab this last turret, and then they can start closing the distance and rotating for dampeners when the next cycle of big map objectives comes up. And that's, of course, assuming that, Dolphin Chasers doesn't score some sort of a big turnaround and gain control of the map back.
I mean, what can Dolphin Chasers do? They're down about 10,000 credits at this point in the game. All the map objectives are, down in favor of BrawL.
I mean, maybe they can set up for an ambush somewhere, especially around this last big objective. Because BrawL obviously is going to be making their way down here because they want to open up all dampeners for big split push opportunities. So maybe they could set up for a nasty ambush and have it happen to work out. Otherwise, they're pretty much on the train of, hey, we really need to pick someone off right now so we can open up an objective.
Sorry to interrupt, but we might see Swamp Thing throw down Husk and try and get down here on Squagatron.
Oh, I would have liked that. And, oh, down bot, though. This is actually a 3-on-4 for the time being. And here comes Atomic Wonder Woman. Now she's going to jump directly into the fight. Swamp Thing has already made his way down. Let's see if Ease can get in here as well. Yes, he finally pops his ult, so he's able to secure his team. Beastin has taken a lot of damage on the way out. He is going to fall. GS somehow gets out of there. Well done, Zatanna. And that's going to be 2 kills for nothing here. For, oh, I'm sorry, 2 kills for 2 now, actually, as not just the Cyborg went down, but also Zatanna ended up falling on the way out. A little surprised she committed that much to that. So it's going to end up working out in the favor of BrawL, but they got really greedy there trying to chase down Katy Perry and Almighty Tick.
Yeah, while they did get greedy, they do get the turret that they wanted. They ended up using the EMP. There's no more deployables available other than just a small surveillance tower.
Yeah.
And now all 3 lanes are pushed in favor of BrawL. They do have the split put option available, but they do got to wait for the majority of their damage up. Big Impact and GS.
And Ease has been spotted, but it doesn't look like anyone is going to be in a position to be able to come after him. He's sitting right next to a surveillance tower right now. And Almighty Tick is thinking about it. He's going to try and come around from the side, and I don't think there's great camera coverage here. So they're going to try and jump on Ease, and he gets out of there with his Knight, but he is slowed. Will he be able to fully make it out of there? I'm not sure. It looks like he's going to head up towards a Husk and see if maybe he can get some help from Swamp Thing, but no, looks like he is just going to throw his body away, and Dolphin Chasers gets a kill for free. That's certainly the kind of thing that they need.
Yeah, they do need to play these picks, but they need quite a few of those simple picks if they want to close this gap of 9,000 credits, as well as many turrets. I think they're down.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 4 turrets that they're behind. I'm sorry, 5.
Yeah, five turrets at the moment. And Telly actually teleported to his Husk up top, which was right next to Atomic Wonder Woman. I was kind of surprised why he did that. I mean, he hasn't really been able to do much off of it. He was already almost the top lane anyway, so it seemed like a bit of a waste. But, oh well. It's not like it hurt him, I suppose.
I mean, I think he could be just working on trying to push his lane out a little bit further. I mean, they have so much vision in the top lane right now. They can see exactly where Swaggatron's going.
Yeah. Definitely. And Swaggatron just clearing for now. Of course, he does have teleport, and he does have his ult as well. But Almighty Tick has turned into a bunny. He's going to try and get out of there, but he can't. Really well done. Genre applying most of the damage there after GS did lock him down as a bunny. And now Big Impact, GS, and Genre. Huge amounts of damage starting to push down mid here. And Husks are being set up in mid as well by Telly, so he can easily teleport down there if necessary.
Oh, they have spotted out one of the Husks, though.
But not the second one that was just sent down, and it's almost in the same position. And he actually just teleported to the one that they already knew about, so there you go.
The Big Impact already putting a lot of damage on this mid lane dampener here. The Freedom Wall going out by Mechasoups. GS caught, taking a couple of turret shots. The Fist going out. Swaggatron turned into a bunny as he throws down the Reclaimer on GS.
What a good bunny right there. That surely saved GS's life in quite a play. So Beastin is going to die. He ends up falling. Genre is now relentless. He is sitting at 4-1-6 with a bundle of credits to his name. Things have gone really well for BrawL over the past few minutes. They are now up by 10k credits. They're pushing down a dampener at the moment. Knight goes forward there, and he's not going to jump on top of that, not going to teleport forward for any other action. But still, a kill, a dampener down. BrawL continues to push their lead.
Looks like they're just going to make their way right for the Leviathan at this point.
Yep. And I mean, that's totally fine. They've got so much power right now that they can do pretty much whatever they want on the map. I mean, Dolphin Chasers is going to need to sit back and start defending dampeners. They're really hoping for picks at some point, but with Beastin getting knocked out like that, they're in a pretty bad spot right now.
Oh, GS was ulted by Almighty Tick. Not much to do and follow up with that. I'm really surprised why they just threw it off just now. Just really kind of like slow him down. Not necessarily do any damage at this point. Oh, another Fist taking out Katy Perry.
I know, man. So Telly has just been on point again today. I mean, this is what we saw from him yesterday during the first couple of games against Dolphin Chasers. His Swamp Thing was just all over the map, and it looks like BrawL is just going to go in on this Leviathan here. They're melting it down really quickly, actually.
Just with Big Impact and GS and Ease.
Yeah.
And now here comes Telly to give Leviathan a fist or two.
And also absorb some of those shots. They're just shielding him up, and no big deal. So they had to actually drop a surveillance camera there just to be like, well, I guess we got to pick up this other deployable. You know, that's kind of important. they'll start to make their way across, and now that one dampener's down, they should be able to EMP push down a second dampener pretty easily.
I mean, do you think it would be beneficial for BrawL just to throw out a split push at this point?
I mean, it can't hurt if they have Husks in position or something like that, and Telly is feeling a bit adventurous. At the moment, his teleport is down for a couple of minutes, so it's a bit risky for anyone on their team to significantly split push besides Ease. And Ease is just kind of doing the mini split push thing and just walking down mid to push up the lane. There's the EMP, and they're just going to jump directly on top of this. There goes down yet another dampener. Bat Scream comes across from Fatal Uno. I don't think that's going to be enough. Here comes Telly, though, and with that damage has plenty enough to take out Almighty Tick. The rest of Dolphin Chasers falling back at the moment. They're all very low, and this is going to be a great opportunity for BrawL to start knocking down some power core turrets.
Oh, I would just like to point out, Telly had a beautiful Vine Lash and just locked up Fatal Uno there. Ends up 2 falling right now. Ease and GS still pushing back Katy Perry, Swaggertron, and Beastin of Dolphin Chasers. All while you have Telly, Big Impact, and Jonda trying to take out these power core turrets. I think this might be game here.
I agree with you. Ease ended up dying, but honestly, they could probably YOLO on the core if they wanted to. They're not going to, but they grab another kill. Swaggertron goes down. Looks like Katy Perry goes down off to the side as well. Just Beastin remaining, and that is going to be the game. Ladies and gentlemen, BrawL ends up surviving the lower bracket. They will advance to the regionals in Germany.
It was a very dominant game by BrawL. I mean, we've seen BrawL just play insane. They were great yesterday as well, and just today in the regional qualifier. They make it through the losers bracket. They end up taking out Dolphin Chasers.
Yeah.
And they